not only were you having trouble with the word, you were also having trouble with the context of the word. And I just think that's ridiculous to be 14, 15 and you don't understand that, but you cussing and you talking about boys, you're talking about girls, you're talking about people in general in a negative way. Like, oh no, babe, you better know your words. You better know what's on your paper.
Peace and blessings, you ugly mofos, and welcome to another episode of He Rants. I am yo Felix, long trousers.
Hey, Daddy!
All right, let's not waste no more time. Let's get right into this.
I'm currently subbing right now, and I just want to say the youth is literally in trouble. Like, elementary all the way to high school, doomed. Because I'm not trying to be funny, but like, when we were in school, middle school especially, high school, because those are the years where you kind of get to decide on who you want to be. In those years, like, I promise you, when we were in school, we played all day, we joked, we acted like them, but we had decorum. Like, we didn't cuss in front of our teachers, we didn't disrespect our teachers, we didn't let our teachers hear our conversations if it was not school appropriate. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay. All right. Listen. She's capping. She's capping hard. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I feel like the schools nowadays worse. The students be acting up a whole lot worse, but she's capping hard. I don't know what school she went to, but hey, students was definitely disrespecting teachers. They're definitely cursing. They're definitely acting buck wild. I mean, of course, there was a certain level of decorum. Like I said, it's not as bad as it is now. I feel like the kids nowadays, but she's definitely doing. Like, are we getting that old now? Are we getting that old that we're starting to do the things that our parents used to do? They used to say, when I was younger, your age, I used to drive. I used to have to walk 17 miles to school in the rain, and then it sleeted in the afternoon, and I had to walk 18 miles back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, and it was different. I used to love my teachers. We all got straight A's and blah, blah, blah. Like, we're not that old to be doing that BS now, son. Like, we weren't in school that long ago, son. Dudes was acting up. Like, she trying to fake, like, come on, son, but let's keep going.
And then on top of that, it was corny to be dumb back in the day. Like, when we were kids, it was corny to be dumb. Now it's cool. It's cool to not turn in your work. No. Like, when we were in school, you was actually a loser if you didn't do your work. Because one thing about it, all of the popular kids were smart. Nobody was dumb. And when I say dumb, I don't even just mean intellectually. I mean, like, you're not applying yourself. You're not turning in your work. You're not doing anything. You're just at school.
50-50. I don't know, bruh. I don't know. There's a lot of dumbasses. There's a lot of dumbasses. A lot of dudes I seen were stupid. They were getting a whole lot of joints, and there was a lot of attractive girls who were really dumb. So I'm like, there was a lot of dumb idiots that was pretty popular. Like, I don't know if we're living in some weird reality. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of people who really did apply themselves. They were really serious, getting honor rolls on that stuff, and they were known, they were popular, everything like that. There's those too, like, but it was a good mix of dumbasses in there, so like a very good mix. In fact, I can make an argument that the dumbasses was probably leading the pack when it comes to popularity. I don't know, bro. Well, she says DC, so I live in the DMV area. Like, we're all like, I don't know, so let's keep going.
Not doing anything. You're just at school. You're just here to be here. And like, nowadays, like, the more that I sub, the more that I see, like, they don't know anything. They don't know anything. And I'm not joking when I say that. They don't know what words mean, and they're 14, 15 years old. Like, the word yesterday was like, what was the word? It was, hold on, I gotta think about it. So the word itself was approach, and the question was, how did Madam C. Walker approach her business or something like that? So basically, not only were you having trouble with the word, you were also having trouble with the context of the word. And I just think that's ridiculous to be 14, 15 and you don't understand that, but you cussing and you talking about boys, you're talking about girls, you're talking about people in general in a negative way. Like, oh no, babe, you better know your words. You better know what's on your paper. Like, This is just making me feel like
I'm sorry. I just keep interrupting, but like that's true. That's true. Like I don't understand what the hell is going on in your mind, but once again, not trying to make excuses, but I don't know how old she is, bro. But it was definitely like that back in our day too. Dudes was cussing in elementary school, and they didn't know a lot of them was just being dumb. Son. Like, I mean, we knew how to read though, so I don't know what's going on nowadays. I don't know if it's COVID stuff or what. A lot of us, majority of us, I felt in my school at least, knew how to read. So I mean, but dog, they were definitely cursing. They were definitely talking about girls and boys and all that stuff. Like, she's doing what the old heads do. So like, it's like we become our parents. It's like that Geico commercial. So we're literally becoming our parents all over again. So like, I don't know. Let's keep going.
this is just making me feel like when I have kids, I'm gonna be the type of mama my mama was, and the type of, and like, because what? You can't come into this house without good grades. Less than an A, you gotta go. These kids don't know nothing, but when I tell you they know the latest rap song, they know the latest cuss word, they know the latest lingo, they know everything, their latest drama. They come to school to socialize, and it's actually quite scary that they think it's cool. Like, I'm like looking at them like in my head, right now I'm doing high school, and I'm just like, you don't have a clue in the world.
Yeah, I will say that though. Those of you guys don't know, I'm Nigerian. And listen, for those of y'all who have African parents, y'all guys know, y'all definitely know, grades are very important. Like, it's either, hey, there's only, what was the comedian said? There was only like 3 choices. It's like doctor, engineer, disgrace to the family. So there's the only 3 options. So anything other than that, or you're a woman, you can be a nurse. At the end of the day, I think it's the parents. Let's just be real. It's really the parents. I feel like a lot of the parents nowadays have the built up trauma that they had when they were younger, right? Or what they assumed was trauma. I guess it's trauma to you. I'm not sure. But some of the parents back in the day were a little bit more strict, right? They're really more like on like, yo, you got to do your stuff. You got to like, you have to bring in the good grades. Right. So nowadays, like, yo, and they were getting beatings more and everything. So I feel like the kids nowadays don't get spanked like they used to get spanked back in the day. I don't know. But so I feel like now they're like, yo, when I get older, I'm not gonna be as strict, have to stick up my butt, pause. That was crazy. They really want to give their kids a little bit more freedom, right? And I always heard this when I was younger that, back in the day that parents in the community was all coming together to make sure children were acting right. Like your neighbor could spank your kid if they saw them like skipping school or anything like that. Nowadays, that's not happening. That's not happening. You might end up getting into a fight. In fact, it's gotten so bad now, and this was even back in the day, but I feel like it's even worse now. That if a teacher was to call home and say, yo, I'm calling because your child is acting up. Your child is doing some egregious stuff. He's out here, dry humping girls in the hallway and stuff. He's just a serial dry humper of girls in the hallway. Something wild, something crazy, right? He's definitely getting suspended. That's for damn sure. But then a lot of parents will come in the joint and be like, why are you picking on my son? My son told me he came from a battalion of dry humpers that was just going around the school dry humping, but you singled out my son. Why is that happening? Like, there's a lot of parents that's not holding their children accountable, and a lot of parents are going off to work and they're tired by the time they came home. This is not giving no excuses to parents. They get tired. They don't want to sit down and really be with their child, go through the schoolwork, and they expect that, a lot of them I've heard, expect the teachers to basically be the parents. Like, oh, I'm sending you off to school. They're supposed to do everything with you. I'm just here just to give you, I guess, maybe lunch or dinner when you get home. That's basically it. Like, you got to do everything at school, extracurriculars, all that stuff. You got to figure out, they're your parents. There's a lot of bad parents out there. There's a lot of bad parents out there. And I'm speaking my side because, my area is predominantly black. So, I can only speak anecdotally, but I've seen it so much, and it's oh, God. That's why sometimes when I hear black people talking about like, oh, the school system, they made it bad for the blacks. Like, they put us in terrible school system. I'm just like, yo, let me give y'all a quick example real quick. My younger siblings, they came from a schools in Montgomery County, Maryland. Montgomery County has one of the better school systems in all of Maryland, right? So they transferred from there to then transfer to a Prince George's County school, which a lot of people know is an affluent black county in America, not just Maryland, but in America. So they went there and they said the difference was night and day. The difference was night and day. The students, not because people are going to be like, oh, the school systems, the teachers. The students were acting a fool. They were going crazy, talking back to the teachers, cursing, throwing staplers at teachers. True story. Just going wild and belligerent. It gets to the point that I feel like a lot of teachers just say, screw it. Like, screw it. What is the point? And there's going to be somebody that will say, oh, why did you become a teacher? No. Listen, if you continuously go through the same thing every single year with these bum idiots coming in here and then you try to correct it, they talk back to you with sass. And then the parents come back when you tell them with sass also. And you see where they got it from. After a while, it's just like, yo, I almost give up. I'm going to try to teach the kids who are willing to learn. But for the most part, just like Baltimore City is one of the most funded areas. I think, I'm not sure in the United States, but it's definitely highly funded. Believe it or not. A lot of people like Baltimore City. Yes. Baltimore City was receiving a lot of money for education. One of the worst school systems. And you'd be like, oh, it's probably the teachers. You can put partial blame on the teachers, but the students and the parents are just not raising their kids right, bro. They're not raising their kids right whatsoever. Their kids are skipping school. I went to a Baltimore City graduation. Let me not lie. I didn't go to a Baltimore City graduation. One of my friends went to a Baltimore City graduation. They took a video of it. And when I tell you there was like, I shit you not, it was probably like 40 kids graduating. It was probably like 40 kids graduating in the whole. I'm like, yo, this is the whole senior class? Or was this like the honors section or something? Like, no, this is the whole school. It wasn't a small school either. So it was just like a lot of them just dropping out. If you guys don't know, like I did a reaction video a while back talking about Baltimore City, and like there was this one kid. He had, he was a senior, but he had to go all the way back to being a freshman because he didn't have enough credits to even be a sophomore.
Tonight, an alarming discovery out of a Baltimore City high school where hundreds of students are failing.
As Project Baltimore's Chris Papps explains, we found a student who's passed 3 classes in 4 years and is ranked near the top half of his class.
We're not letting none of this get the best of us. All right? Be strong, son. We got this.
He's stressed, and I am too. Like, I told him I probably will start crying. Like, my son is, I don't know what to do for him.
This coming June is when Tiffany France thought her son would receive his diploma.
And I'm just trying to fight. He like, Mom, what was all this for? What did I do this for? Like, don't he get a chance? Do he get a chance?
But after 4 years of high school, this mom just learned her 17-year-old has to start over. He's been moved back to 9th grade.
Why would he do 3 more years in school? He didn't fail. The school failed him. The school failed at their job. They failed. That's the problem here. They failed. He didn't deserve that.
France's son attends Augusta Fells Savage Institute of Visual Arts in West Baltimore. His transcripts show in 4 years, he has passed just 3 classes, earning 2.5 credits, which places him in 9th grade. But France says she didn't know that until February. She has 3 children and works 3 jobs. She thought her oldest son was doing well because even though he failed most of his classes, he was being promoted. His transcripts show he failed Spanish 1 and Algebra 1, but was promoted to Spanish 2 and Algebra 2. He also failed English 2, but was passed on to English 3.
I'm just assuming that if you are passing, that you have the proper things, to go to the next grade. And, the right grades, you have the right credits.
As we dig deeper into her son's records, we can see in his first 3 years at Augusta Fells, he failed 22 classes and was late or absent 272 times. But in those 3 years, only one teacher requested a parent conference, which France says never happened. No one from the school told this mother her son was failing and not going to class.
Yeah.
France's son, in his 4 years at Augusta Fells, earned a grade point average of 0.13. He only passed 3 classes, but his transcripts show his class rank is 62 out of 120. This means nearly half of his classmates, 58 of them, have a GPA of 0.13 or lower.
He's a good kid. Like, he didn't deserve that. Where is the mentors? Where is the help for him? I hate that this is happening to my child.
Like, in the video, you literally saw the kid playing on his PlayStation controller. Like, you see it happening. And the mom is out there just sounding stupid. I just don't get it. How can you find out your kid is gonna go back to being a freshman and you're allowing him to play on the video game? You're not getting a video game. The TV is gone. No cable. All that stuff is finito. We got to get on it. I'm telling you, it's just the parenting. The parenting is just bad. And hey, black people, like, I love y'all. We need to get better, son. Like, yes. Oh, what about the white people? What about? I don't care, son. The white people do whatever they want, son. Like, we gotta study the Asians. That's what we gotta do. We gotta go to. Not India. India's disgusting. We gotta go to other parts of Asia, specifically maybe Japan. Just focus and see how they go, because they have one of the best cultures in the world. I don't care what anybody says. And they got anime, and I love anime. See the Sailor Moon in the back. Talking about something. But we gotta go and study their culture and try to emulate that culture to the best of our abilities. If we're able to do that, I'm telling you, blacks will flourish more than anyone could even imagine, son. Like, I'm telling you, but for some reason, I don't know why, we just don't want to, son. I don't know, son. We say we want to, but then our actions show otherwise. I don't know. People are just gonna call me names and they're not gonna listen to what the hell I just said, but it is what it is. Let me know in the comments below if you agree, disagree, or you think I'm just talking on my ass. I don't know. But that's all I gotta say. Peace and blessings, you ugly mofos. And I'm out.